Hey, this is Levi, and you are here to ace your learning. Ready? Let's go. This is the math you need for exams, but probably forgot. In this video, we're going to be working with factoring quadratics that have negative values in them as well. Before we begin, if you believe that you cannot do maths or if you've been told that, let's undo that belief by practicing until you can. You can do it. First, a quick refresher. What is factoring quadratics in the first place? And it is simply the process of finding factors of an expression where the variable's highest exponent is 2. Quite a mouthful, so let's go into some examples. Quick recap from the last video with our quadratic trinomial over there and the factorized form. If you haven't watched this video yet, I do recommend that you go back and watch it. It's linked in the description below. And part 1 covers the very basics with 2 plus signs. And in this video, we're going to mix it up a little bit by throwing in a minus sign. Now, as soon as there's a minus sign in your expression, things get a bit more interesting. So let's go and tackle this one. Our goal when we're factoring quadratics is to end up with 2 brackets that, when you multiply them, equals the original expression. Now, instead of just putting random numbers into random brackets and multiplying them together, that would take way too long. We've just simplified this into 4 simpler steps that you can follow. The first one is the same as in part 1. It is to draw an equal to sign followed by 2 wide open brackets. Next, you're going to list your variable, so your alphabet letter, in the front of each bracket without the square. We'll then go on to step 2, which says list the factor pairs of the constant value. Now, the constant value, again, this is the number without the alphabet letter next to it, without the variable, so it's going to be 14. Let's list the factor pairs of 14. In other words, the numbers you multiply together to get 14. 1 times 14 and 2 times 7, both equal 14. Now, step 3, this is where it gets a little bit different. We need to look at the sign of the constant value. Over here, we've got a plus sign. Since it's a plus sign, the sign in each bracket are going to be the same. Also, we need to add the factors together to find the middle term. What this means is that between the pair of factors 1 and 14 and 2 and 7, which of those pairs, when you add them up, gives you the 9, gives you a 9. Is it 1 and 14 or is it 2 and 7? And that's it. It's going to be 2 and 7. So we're now just going to list the 2 and the 7 like so. And then we'll check out a little hint over here. The hint says that both brackets have the same sign as the middle term. So what sign does the middle term have? It's a negative sign. So we need to put a negative sign in between each of the values in the brackets, and that will give us the 2 brackets. We've now ended up with 2 brackets, but we want to check if our answer is correct. So to do that, you can just multiply out your brackets again. So in this example, you'll see that the signs are slightly different. The configuration of signs are slightly different, but our steps and our end goal to end up with 2 brackets that when you multiply them equals the original expression, those all stay the same. So let's start with our first step and draw 2 brackets. Then our wide open brackets like that, and our variable at the front end of each bracket without the square. Then we're going to list the factor pairs of the constant value. Constant value would be our 6. So 1 times 6 gives us 6, as well as 2 times 3. Next, we're going to look at the sign of the constant value. It's going to be a negative sign. So this time, the signs in the brackets are going to be different, and we need to subtract the factors to find the middle term. Now, what is the middle term in this case? There's a C there, but there's no number in front of the C. And when that happens, when there's no number in front of the C, you always just imagine it is a 1 because it is a 1. So to make life easier, I'm just going to throw in a 1 over there, 1C, and now we can solve it nicely. We need to find two values that when we subtract them, it equals 1. So does 6 minus 1 equal 1? No. How about 3 minus 2? That's it. So 3 minus 2 equals our 1, so we write those in the ends of our brackets. Then let's have a look at our hint. It says the bigger value in the brackets has the same sign as the middle term. So which value is bigger? Is it 3 or is it 2? Okay, well, definitely it's going to be 3. So that 3 gets the sign of our middle term. So it's going to be plus 3 and minus 2. And there we go. We now have our two brackets, and we can go on to the last step, which I've actually added in this time. We're going to check our answer by multiplying out the brackets with the FOIL method. So C times C gives us C squared. Then we'll have C times minus 2 for minus 2C. Then plus 3 times C, it's plus 3C. And then our plus 3 times the negative 2, that's going to give us our negative 6. And once again, if we combine our like terms, we will get that minus 2 plus 3c gives us plus 1c. And voila, we now have our expression at the end when we multiply it out, equaling our original expression. So our two brackets are correct. C plus 3 and C minus 2. Quick recap. These are your steps. Quick recap. Your steps are: first things first, drawing your equal to sign and two wide open brackets. Then you're going to list your factor pairs of the constant value, and then look at the sign of the constant value. The constant, remember, is the number without the variable. So if the sign of the constant value is positive, then the signs in brackets will be the same, and you need to add the factors of the factor pair together to find a number equivalent to the one in the middle term. If there's a negative sign, the signs in each bracket are going to be different, and you are going to subtract the factor pairs from each other to find the same value as the middle term. Finally, you're going to check your answer by multiplying out the brackets together using the FOIL method, and it needs to equal the original expression. So if your answer equals the original expression, you are correct. Now it's your turn. Try and factorize the following. Pause the video here, write them down, and give it a try. So, how did you do? Rewind and rewatch this, especially if you didn't understand it or if you got it incorrect. Watch it again until you understand your answers. I really hope that you found this video helpful, and if you did, please share it on. Also, hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any new uploads from me. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, stay safe and take care.